Hi, it's Luke at Performance Auto Electrical, and today we're going to talk about solar. I get a lot of customers asking about solar, being older vans having no solar, being vans already having solar from the factory, upgrading to run extra things. So I'm going to show you the different types of solar systems, the different how many panels, and sort of what they can do and what you can achieve by upgrading or putting solar on your van. So this caravan here already has a factory fitted 200 watt panel. It will keep the battery charged and run generally your LED internal lighting, external lighting for nighttime, and a TV. So that's sort of what 200 watt will run in your van, so it will charge and maintain obviously during the day when you got your sunlight. So then come around again what you use during the night. Also the next morning the solar panel will replenish and put back into the battery. The power you've taken out of that battery running your lights or your TV or even a water pump, that's what sort of around 200 watt panel will do. Obviously if you are going to do a lot of free camping and it is going to be sort of closer to winter months, overcast and cloudy, then you would go for more panels. So you'd go from one panel, you'd upgrade and put another panel, or another one or another two. So then if it is cloudy, overcast, for quite a period of time, the more solar you have on the roof, the better chance you have got of charging the battery, replenish what you're taking in with the extra panels. So upgrading a system, most systems can be done upgraded from the 1 to generally 2, and also say 3, depending on what battery management system, what solar regulator you got in the van. This particular one is a BM Pro system in it, so you can upgrade, so we can add extra solar to this particular van. If we find that you want to go higher than what the management system or the BM Pro will do, well, then we would have to change a regulator or add a different regulator into the system to take the extra panels. Most common question I get is, what will a 200 watt solar panel run? Well, it is quite hard to say because obviously there's too many variants. How much sun is there? How old is even your battery can come into play. But generally what you would run is your internal lighting, water pump, TV, that sort of stuff. What you wouldn't run is you would run your fridge, being hopefully if it's a 3-way fridge, you would run your 3-way fridge on gas. In that scenario, if you got a compressor fridge, well obviously that will run off the battery, which then you need a reasonable solar system for that. Your stove you'd run on gas as well. And then generally your hot water, if you've got a hot water service, most of them are gas. It does still need 12 volt to ignite it and to run the controls in it. So that does use a little bit of 12 volt. So once again, your solar system battery will run them sort of components in your van. Okay, so what we're finding, most of new vans now, years ago caravans come with no solar whatsoever, but we're finding most of all the newer vans these days come with at least sort of 2 panels, whether or not it's around 170 watt or 200 watt panels. We're finding that is quite standard these days on new caravan builds. So once again, what will that run? It's depending, once again, the sun, your battery condition, and how much current you're actually pulling out of the system. So, but we find generally with your normal sort of van that 2 panels around about 200 watt will run most of your normal common vans with your normal water pump, internal lighting, TV, etc. It will run that sort of thing. The only time you need to go for more is if you're going to have big battery banks, you want to run an inverter, run air cons and microwave and that sort of thing. Well, then obviously 2 panels or something like this won't do that. So that's when you need to start going for extra panels, when you got 4, 5, 6, 7, depending on the system, depending on what inverter, how much 240 you want to be able to run. And your battery capacity, whether or not you go AGM or lithium, it varies the systems as well. But yeah, sort of standard, most of your new caravans come with 2 standard, which then if you want to upgrade and go for an inverted system, well then we can upgrade and add extra panels, providing the surface area on the roof is allowing. Most of the time we find that we can add extra to it, if need to. Okay, so this is a system that we've just done. So it has 5 panels. So this is a full, we call it the full off-grid system. Why would you go 5 panels is because also we've installed a 3,000 watt inverter into this van. So we want to obviously try and get as much during the day power back into the system. So that's why it's gone for something this quite large. And that's the only reason why you'd go for generally a large or an off-grid system is if you want to run an inverter and run air cons or microwaves or something like that. Well, then that's why you'd go for a sort of a system like this. So during the day, free camping. During the day, you can run or at night run your air con, and then during the day, the solar system being this sort of size, we'll put the power back in during the day to your van. So, like I said, it's got a 3,000 watt inverter system, which generally will run sort of one decent thing at a time. So it will run the aircon at once, or if you want to run a microwave sort of separate times, you can run hair dryers, laptops, anything charging 240. So this system we have wired up to all GPOs in the van. So the inverter, when you're free camping, will power up everything 240 in the van, bar the battery charger itself. So the battery charger will only work when you're on mains power, but everything else, 240 volt in this van will work, but you can't use it all at the same time, being run aircon and maybe charge a phone at the same time, but you can't run, say, an aircon and a microwave. But you can go bigger inverters again to do it if you wanted to do it all at once and run a lot more 240 at once. You can go bigger inverters to do so, but then obviously you need more solar and more batteries to back that sort of system up. So generally a 3,000 watt is sort of as big as we like to go in a system, because then trying to get the power back into the batteries is a lot easier, and you find pretty rare that you want to run 3 or 4 240 volt things at once. Being just run your aircon is fine and charge a phone's fine, but you wouldn't run your aircon and a microwave at once, which you can switch the aircon off for a couple of minutes while doing something like that and run your microwave. Okay, so this is an older caravan. So back in the day, I'll say, the early days of caravaning didn't have any 12 volt batteries or solar. Most of them did have a 12 volt sort of a couple of lights in it which ran off your vehicle to you pull over for lunch or something, or at night time pull over, and you could run the actual caravan off your car battery through the trailer plug. And then years later, caravans went to having a battery actually in the caravan, so you could actually stay for a couple of days. So it'd have a battery, generally no solar back then either. So you would free camp for a day or a night, hook your car up to it, you could charge it that way, or drive, and when you get back home or to 240 volt, mains would charge. And then from that it went from a battery to then add solar to it as well. So this is an older van that someone has put 2 panels on to go off-grid. So I suppose maybe in more of the earlier days when caravans didn't have solar or battery, etc., people sort of hitched up their vans and just went straight to a caravan park, plugged into mains power, and had all their lighting, etc. But these days everyone wants to go free camping, more remote. So that's why most vans now come standard batteries and solar. Or if you've got an older van and you want to upgrade and start doing that to it, you can. So this is what this customer has done, is got a solar system added to it. So now they can obviously go free camping with their van. At Performance Auto Electrical, we can do from not having a solar system to doing a full complete solar system. We can do the upgrades from a new van, from 1 panel upgrade to 2, 3, up to 5, 6, whatever, depending on the system. We can do the whole lot. We do the servicing on the solar systems, as far as we can check the solar panels outputs, check the solar regs, and make sure the system is doing what it should do as well. So yeah, if you need any solar systems or repairs or modifications, give us a call here at Performance Auto Electrical.